Alida from the George Herald with Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman, the head of Gift of the Givers here at the disaster site. Dr. Sooliman, have you been briefed on the situation, and could we please have your comment on...
Well, we've seen far worse, bigger situations in other parts of the world. I don't follow the 72-hour rule because we've taken our people alive on day 8 in Haiti, on the 20th of January 2010. But that is a collapsed Catholic church. It wasn't a 5-story building. But while saying that, on the 13th of February last year, we took out a 90-year-old grandmother in a 12-story collapsed building that was totally pancaked. And 8 days later, we took her out. While saying that, I strongly believe that we don't have much opportunity or chance to take anybody else out now, for several reasons. One is the sniffer dogs are not picking up scent of live people anymore, and that's been happening from late yesterday. Secondly, and the biggest problem is that people are trapped under 3,000 tons of concrete. There was hope for those living who were caught up in the basement, because that's where our dogs picked up 4 live people on early hours of Tuesday morning. But it doesn't seem now that there's anybody else there. We can be wrong. And now, because of the bodies starting to decompose, the sniffer dogs are getting confused. The smell is dissipating all over the atmosphere. So that's becoming a problem. So if we find anybody alive now, it's going to be a miracle. And because even the ones that came out alive, many of them were severely injured. So I think 16 of them were in critical condition. So I don't hold out much hope, although you have to be positive all the time. Families want to hear about hope, but also you have to be realistic. We've seen that the operation is moving from using small equipment. Heavy machinery is coming this afternoon. That's demolition machinery, which in other words is sending the message that the rescue phase is over. We're now more in just a recovery phase. And the priority is to move all that rubble. There's no guarantee what we will find and how many people we'll find. The figures, it may be a bit of a problem. Today I see somebody say it's gone up to 44 missing. I don't know how far that is true. Nobody will really know. The only way we will know is if all the family members come here to this hall and say my loved one is missing. That's the only way you would find the exact number of people missing after you subtract who you found already, whether passed on or alive. And commonly on a building site, knowing from history of builders, a lot of people don't turn up for work on a Monday. They find some excuse, and especially you foreign nationally, maybe staying far. I've seen it so many times in my own work situation. Where people just don't come to work on a Monday, and it's possible. And since it was 2 o'clock, it's possible at 1 o'clock lunchtime they could have taken a walk somewhere. This is all speculation, but hopefully that happened, and hopefully less people came to work on Monday, because nobody's exactly going to know the amount of people, because they're a contractor, a subcontractor, and yet somebody else. So nobody knows the exact figure. I'm not sure if they kept proper records for how many people were working there for each subcontractor. So I'm praying silently that a lot of people were away from work at lunchtime on Monday. And as I said, the only way that we'll really know definitely is to go into the hall where the families are waiting and ask who's missing. That will probably be the only way we'll get the exact figure.